Alright, well that took forever to upload, but I made good use of my time and looked up the name of this knife. It is the Jungle King 1. I think the company name is like Aerator or something, I can't pronounce it. But yeah, it's a half titting here. It's got a hollow handle with your basic, survival blade equipment that you get, which are rubbish, so if you plan on keeping and actually using this, I'd switch it out with something substantial. It's spring-loaded. Thought that was nice. It actually came with that in the box. Best and most accurate compass I have seen on a knife to date, as of April 1st, 2013. It's kind of sad that that's coming from a cheap $30 knife as well. So two more comments on this blade actually. Best saw I've ever seen on a knife, specifically a survival knife. It's sad that it's coming from a $30 blade, so this thing, it's descripted as a notcher, but look at that thing. It's sharpened on all sides. It's dipped down, it's got a crescent shape to it. It's sharpened on the back, on both sides, and on the top here. This thing eats through saplings, branches, basically anything you can't chop through, you'll be able to saw through it. So, I got the black coated blade because, well, for this reason, I kind of like that wear on it. So it's a very abrupt grind. I think I have like a, what is this? I think this is like 80 degrees inclusive on both sides. I think that's what I sharpened it to. I don't know. Something really interesting about the blade. It is marketed as a survival knife, but look at this here. It's got this little tray in the sheath here, which I don't think I mentioned, but this was paracord wrapped, and it had a stone sharpener, so I guess I didn't mention it. It's there. If I mentioned it twice, well, now you know. Basically you can mod this out to have your favorite fire steel and, some lights, maybe a lighter, maybe one of those chrome lighters from Blade HQ. Definitely want to get one of those. But yeah, it comes with a slingshot. So what that does is I've duct taped it down because sometimes it'll fall off and it gets kind of annoying. But basically what you can do here is if I can get the tape off. There we go. As you can see, it's got a drainage hole like literally 3 inches off of the bottom. So as you pull those prongs out there and you put the surgical tubing over it, and as you can see, it turns into a slingshot, which I think is a very, very neat idea. Although I've seen copies of this, I think after my research, this is the first knife to ever employ this. It makes a very, very nice slingshot. Shoots hard and fast. Something new and different. Everything on this knife is new and different, but on the sheath here, it's got this quick release. So it doesn't look. When I got this, I was worried about it, falling off and then coming off my belt here. But it's actually extremely strong. And it's tapered just right, so when you get it in there, and that loop there, it is very secure. It's not coming off. So it's the same thing with the blade retention strap. You put that on and it stays on. It doesn't come off. You can run around and do whatever you want. And it's just very secure. And I was quite impressed. So yeah, it is quite big. I don't use it enough to actually stitch it through. I'll show you the knife. I really do use a lot. But yeah, it's got a brass insert there. So for leg strap, and for a knife this heavy, I would recommend a leg strap. But, it's personal preference. we had plenty of time to think over what this knife is, which I couldn't tell you because I bought this used, so I don't know the name, but it's from Gerber. And if you said Rick Hinderer or XM18 or anything along those lines, you are right. I got this, I'm like, oh, camera almost fell, man. Saw this, and I thought this was like a tiny little XM18. Very interesting because it has a, as you can see, who does that? Medford Knives. Medford Knives does that. It's got a hollow grind here. As you can see right there where it ends on that tiny little swoop there. No, it's not shadow. That's where the hollow grind ends. And then it's got a flat grind for the Tonto tip, which I thought was really nice. Lockup is amazing. It's right there, 50%. I don't like early lockup knives because when they're introduced to shock, they tend to fail. That's just for me. I've never had like a Strider, so I probably never will, although I want one. Yeah, there you go. I put an entirely new edge on it, as most of my knives. It's kind of a personal thing for me. I have to put a new edge on it. And as usual, I redid the serrations. So I'm thinking about modding this out too. How sick do you think this would look if I took out the scales here and put like a navy blue and black G10 combined with the titanium steel frame lock? I think that would look amazing. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Alright, about halfway through here. This is my, oh gosh. My uncle gave this to me. This actually survived through a flood and then was neglected for literally roughly 20 years. And it's still going. As you can see, I modified it a little bit. I've just bent that down so it makes a little bit more substantial a grip at the top for that more fine cutting. Clip point blade, it's got that blood groove there. Mirror finish, as you can see my tripod, totally not books. This is just beautiful. And I use this a lot. It's an amazing chopper. The weight is in all the right places. It's like just right behind the ricasso there. And I quite like it. It's amazing. I'm literally like, you can't even see my face. I'm so high in books here. Which you couldn't even tell if I didn't even tell you that. I think that's pretty funny. So this knife has pretty much been modded out completely. This is the oldest knife I have. This is 30 plus years old. Obviously these have lasted generations, but this didn't have a sheath at all. It was completely broken. I took the fragments from the sheath, which as you can see was red, and this looked so cool a couple years ago, and now it's kind of old and worn, but it's got dirt and stuff on it. But I wrapped it in like a cloth finish, which is what you put on normally what you put on tennis rackets, and then I just wrapped it at the end so I could write my notes on it and then erase it. So that's like a paper tape, which are pretty hard to find, but you know, if you look on eBay for long enough, you can find some. So yeah, it's fun to write little notes here. This is my everything blade. It doesn't chop, but it batons like nobody's business. It's got a 20-degree inclusive grind on it, which is pretty impressive for me. It batons, it's an amazing throwing knife, it carves really well, it's just my everything knife. And it weighs like nothing. It's got these wooden scales, which I'm thinking about restaining, so it doesn't look as beat up. And then I completely regrinded the entire blade. Which you can't even... I didn't even have the proper tools to do it, so that's why it looks so messy, but that's pretty much as clean as I can get it. It almost looks like a stone wash finish, so I'm not complaining. Yeah, you can see it's been resharpened through the field sharpener. You can tell by the little wave there. But then I professionally resharpened it with my, good stuff. I actually found this lying on the side of the road, which I thought was pretty funny. This Harley Davidson loop here. It's a leather, so I'm like, hey, leather, super glue, it'll stick for life. And it has. There's no intention of falling off, and it's a really nice, quick release strap. And my duct tape is coming off. Fantastic. That's cool, because I'm just about to finish this video anyway, so yeah. Thanks for watching, and God bless. You too. See ya.